Isaac Kapinga is in the box to start this third period. So is someone else. There's 2 Cougars in the penalty box, and I think there's going to be 2 for Cranbrook Kingswood, so that's all going to cancel out. We will start the third at 5-on-5. I appear to have found a more reliable signal. Hard line. Didn't notice it at first when I got here, so we should be clear to go as far as the reception is concerned and the quality of the stream is concerned. I apologize for the first couple of periods here. Like I said, on the road, you do your best, and sometimes the folks here at the arena don't even know what they have available. I was told it was just Wi-Fi, but that's why you continue to look for yourself. 2-1 Catholic Central. Liam Ten Harmsel's second period power play goal has the Cougars' noses out in front as they try to finish this weekend with a win and split a showcase for the second time this year. They also did that up in Gaylord when they beat Flint Powers Catholic, but then fell to Bay Reps. This would be the reverse if they could come back and get this win today after dropping a 2-1 decision to Livonia Stevenson yesterday. Cleared in by Luke Goheen, so here we go. 16:40 left in regulation time. Turned over high in the zone. Zach Westrick pulls the trigger. Save made. And punched to the sideboards by the Cranes' Roman Chico. Chico wearing the C on his jersey for team captain. Catholic Central's got a couple of co-captains this year. Well, they had 3. Nate Sova's now out, looking like for the rest of the season, at least the regular season. But Ryder Mulvey, one of those co-captains. Here's Goheen, tripped in the slot as he tried to deal to his backhand side. Catholic Central back to the power play. Can they do it again here? Get another PPG. This will be their 4th opportunity. Chico to the box for the second time today. Another tripping call. Could call that a couple of different things, honestly. Slashing as well. Goheen helps win the faceoff after Westrick pounded it to the sideboards. Ten Harmsel makes the pass center point. Berta shoots. Save made by Dudlar. Rebound. And it trickles in behind the net. Westrick to the side of the goal, and it's still free, but I think that whistle actually favored the Cougars because it looked like the Cranes were going to be able to clear that out of the zone. Instead, it'll stay in the zone for a face-off. 1:44 remaining in the power play. It's a busy place, starting to really hop. Not the biggest parking lot either. I guess that's why they charge for parking here at the Kennedy Recreation Center. Ten Harmsel, no, he did not keep it in the zone. I thought he did. I'm pretty close to being on the line, but not exactly. If you're looking for a red line call, I'm on it, but the blue a little bit off on both sides, obviously. Catholic Central trying to win for just the second time since January the 6th. They're 1-5-2 since they beat Bay Reps in a matchup of state-ranked teams at Southside back on the first weekend of the new year. Now we're into February, and just the win at West Ottawa since then. 5 losses and a couple of ties, too. Ten Harmsel keeps the puck in at the blue line. Cruises over to the far side, working against Collison. Ten Harmsel has a goal in this game. Now he's centered, looking for an assist, and Outwater just couldn't get the shot away cleanly from the doorstep. And banged out to center by the Cranes. 1 minute to go on the power play. Chico in the box for Cranbrook Kingswood in the dark blue jerseys. They might even look black to you on your device screen. I assure you they are dark blue. Ten Harmsel, the Cougars in the white as the designated home team for this game. Thought about a shot, now passed it off to Luke Goheen. Did Ten Harmsel to the corner. Westrick tries to swoop in to save the day. Ten Harmsel keeps it at the point. Shoots deflected on goal by Westrick, I think. Dudlar makes the stop and no rebound. 35 seconds left on the power play. Change of lines for both teams. Mulvey's back out there. Ryder Mulvey with his first period goal now has points in 7 of his last 9 games. 9 total points over that span. 5 goals, 4 assists. Kwiatkowski has shot off the blocker of Dudlar. He's been pretty sharp today. Dudlar Both teams have been pretty good defensively, too, as you might imagine with a 2-1 score. It hasn't been the case where the goaltenders are doing all the work. Kwiatkowski from the blue line, cleared it across into the possession of Braden Bates. Backpedals, feeds Kappinga. He's open, shoots. Glove save by Dudlar from 10 feet out, and he keeps it with 2 seconds to go on the power play. Looking like a long shot. Catholic Central is going to cash in on this one. There were more prime scoring chances in the first. Some sloppy errors on both sides. Understandable considering the 9:20 a.m. start time. But the second period was more airtight. In the third period, nothing really from a grade A spot on the ice, although the Cougars had 2 or 3 shots on goal during that man advantage, which is now over. They're 1 for 4 on the morning. Patrick Neton shoots it in for Cranbrook Kingswood on the fresh sheet. Very fresh at this end. It's barely been touched since the intermission. A shot and a clutch block by Kwiatkowski on DeSalvo's chance in the middle. That would have been dangerous if it had gone on target. So chalk one up to the D. Braden Bates with a free escape on the delayed offside against CK. He headmans for Potter's redirection ahead. Up the middle it comes. Nick Timko carrying through. Light on his skates, Nick Timko took the shot, deflected by Braden Bates out of play. 13-13 to go in the third. No goals in this third as of yet. We had the 1 penalty, but killed off. Well, actually, we had 4 penalties called before the end of the second period. Now all those players are out of the box with that stoppage in play. So each team has its full complement of guys. As we wrap up the MIHL Showcase. Yesterday, CK beat Traverse City Central, the Trojans, 3-2. We've got teams from all over the state. I heard 20 of the top 25, according to State Champs' all divisions ranking, are here this weekend. And we've got some teams from Illinois, Ohio, at least one from Wisconsin. Saw some cheeseheads in the parking lot. Rubline blasts it forward. Versfelt up ahead with that pass, and that's icing. It does not connect. Even some vendors in the lobby. Saw that second string, which is a Grand Rapids area business, doing some business here. What they do is they repurpose old leather goalie equipment into various items, wallets, golf club head covers. They have some t-shirts and stickers, all kinds of interesting things. Check them out online, Second String. It's a cool local business. Hockey-oriented, obviously. They even have some pocket knives made out of the shafts of old hockey sticks. It's really interesting. If you like resourcefulness, if you're into don't make waste, this is your kind of business, I would say. Sager on the chase back for Catholic Central. Lost it to Collison. He centers for Brown, trying to stick handle. That long reach, he holds it away from the berth of Kwiatkowski, and Brown hooks it to the near side boards. Outwater trying to clear. It comes free for Mulvey. He delivers ahead. Pollock couldn't reach it. That's icing against Grand Rapids Catholic Central with just under 12 minutes to go in regulation time. Until the last 2 games, Cranbrook Kingswood was in an offensive drought. They scored 5 total goals in 5 games. No surprise, they didn't win a single one of them. But now they've scored 3 in back-to-back games, including yesterday's win. The Cranes don't give up a lot of goals either, though, so very similar to Catholic Central. Maybe not quite as prolific as Catholic Central on the offensive end. Here's a chance. Goheen with a sharp save on Neton as he crept in from the left wing boards. That keeps the Cougars ahead, 2-1. And it's Luke Goheen, the sophomore. Fed it in behind the net. Dudlar went out for a second, then thought better of it. Outwater to Westrick, trying to go across the crease. Over to Goheen. It's deflected out high to 10. Harmsel. Oh, that shot just goes wide. Westrick hacking at it a couple of times. Nearly banked it in off Dudlar, but it stays out. We continue on in a 2-1 game. Good work from that line, though. That was a hard-working shift. Those chances are definitely hard-earned. Goheen couldn't touch this lead pass from Braden Bates, and again, the Cougars are guilty of icing with 10:48 left in the period and in regulation time. By the way, if we do require overtime, there is no overtime per se. We go directly to a shootout. That's how Byron Center suffered its first loss of the season yesterday to Orchard Lake St. Mary's from just up the road. So I guess you could say the Bulldogs still haven't lost in regulation or overtime, but they have lost in a shootout, and due to the rules of the tournament, it does count as a loss. Delayed offside against CK. They refused to clear the zone, so that's intentional offside, and that's a face-off all the way down to our right in the attacking end for Catholic Central. Nice break there. Still 2-1 Cougars. No goals in this third period. Cranbrook Kingswood is not ranked, but this would still be a quality win against a D2 opponent. Icing the other way against Caleb Goldstein and the Cranes. We'll do it again from that same side of the ice. 2 games next weekend as well for Catholic Central, both in the Grand Rapids area. They'll host Rockford. It's the final quote-unquote home game of the year, but not the last game at Southside. They'll play against Byron Center the final weekend, and then I believe the regionals are going to be hosted again at Southside, even though Grand Rapids Christian is technically the host school this year. The Cougars hosted last year, so obviously it was at Southside the whole tournament. Berta dispossessed at center. Caleb Goldstein slapped his stick. Goheen got rid of it from behind the net. Just shot off goal by Timko. Timko tries to center. That's deflected. Pardon, that's Horton. Horton, one of the co-captains for the Cranes. Tried to wrap around, did Horton, but it drifted off his stick. Versfeld hammers it behind the goal. One touch onto Horton. Couldn't make a move, and Berta inadvertently swatted it off the ice surface over the side glass. Most of the spectator area is protected. Actually, all of the spectator area is protected by the white netting you see in front of you. And I'm so close to the ice, I'm grateful for it. Definitely the closest I've been to the rink this year for a broadcast. It has its benefits and drawbacks. You do get a better sense of the speed, but it's that speed that can kill you as well. You don't get that wide perspective. It's more of a player's perspective. And if you never played, this game is chaos at times, swirling colors. That's what makes it so great, when you can make sense of it and make a play. Outwater's pass, too far for Braden Bates to reach. It split him and Ten Harmsel, so Ten Harmsel retrieves it back, gave it over to Bates, up ahead off the stick of Luke Goheen. Dudlar toyed with Goheen for a second there, and then he swatted it away with one hand on his goal stick. Braun Scheidel, a pass to the middle. Schmidt avoids a man. Schmidt a shot. Goheen absorbs and keeps with 9:03 left in the third. Nip and tuck right now. I wouldn't say teams are playing conservatively, but certainly defense is the order of business right now for Catholic Central, and honestly for the Cranes so far too. It's not quite time for them to really throw caution to the wind. But we're getting to that time period. Bounced in on goal. Goheen has it again. Brown hacked at it once, and then he lifted his glove up as if to say, sorry about that. Usually you can tell when it's done in malice and when it's just done in the honest effort to try to score a goal. I think in that case it was the latter, and the Cougars agreed with me. They didn't take exception. Slapper after the face-off win by Antone. Again, he missed the goal. He's had some looks, but he hasn't been able to put many of them on target, has Antone. Now he has to go all the way back for it. Gave it away. Mulvey stepping up. Lost it to Pollock. Pollock back to Ryder Mulvey in the corner. From a standstill, tries to work there. Good job to pull it free. Mulvey again buys himself some time. Took the shot that was blocked. Second attempt, also blocked, but Pollock is on the loose change. Berta pounds it to the corner. Now in behind the net, Mulvey tried to center. Oh, he had Pollock wide open. The left side of the crease, but just couldn't thread it through. Kwiatkowski steps up, shoots one, and deflected off the rink again up into the screen. 8:17 left in the third. We're more than halfway through the final frame. Thank you for watching and listening on Cougar Puck Radio. This is our second stream. I just restarted it after the second period as I got on the Ethernet system here. My only regret is I didn't do it earlier than that, but we should have a clear stream the rest of the way on YouTube. Remember to like and subscribe to the channel to know when we're going live. You can also sign up for notifications. Westrick looking to yank it loose from his skates, but he couldn't quite get the pass off. Noddle charges down the wing, right in on Trent Goheen, and the goaltender swings it away, but back out to the point, and a slapper by Chico. He's gotten a couple of them on target in this game, and again, a save made. The sharp thud of the pad off of Trent Goheen. Chico checked down to the ice by Outwater. He shoots ahead, nearly picked off the referee down in that zone as he'll head off for a line change. Will Outwater. He scored the only goal for the Cougars yesterday against Livonia Stevenson. 10 Harmsel. Lost it to Chico. Good pass there to the circle. Out in front of the net. Braunscheidel couldn't get the shot away. Noddle set him up with a good pass, but I guess it was too good. He surprised his teammate, and Braunscheidel just flailed away. A turnover, Mulvey almost sneaking it by the goaltender Dudlar. Now angled ahead. Goldstein trying to catch up to it, and it's icing against Cranbrook Kingswood. Goldstein can't believe it as he didn't quite touch the puck there. He was close before it went over the end line. That's it. At this level of play, the whistle has to sound at that moment. Braden Bates battling with him, just in case it wasn't called icing. The Cougars scored first in this one, and they scored third in this one. It was briefly tied for about 3.5 minutes of game action, midway through the second period. Liam 10 Harmsel's fourth goal of the season right now could hold up as the decider. 10 Harmsel, the sophomore, patrolling the blue line, gave it over to Bates. He lost it at center to Timko on the headman pass. Timko slides it to DeSalvo, and right through the crease with that turning shot. Pollock. 1-on-2, try to flip it in, at least try to get the puck below the goal line, and he did do that. You'll see a lot of that here down the stretch from Catholic Central, just trying to keep the puck moving north and ensuring that it stays down to our right. Kwiatkowski takes a hard bump from Timko at center, but made the play ahead. 6:20 left in the third period. DeSalvo through to center. Good back pressure by Potter to get to it and clear, but too hard. That's icing against Catholic Central, and we might have a penalty as well. High sticking has been called, but neither penalty box is opened yet. It'll be against the Cranes of Cranbrook Kingswood. Thomas Keimel, the co-captain, has a seat. The second penalty of this period against CK. And talk about a chance here. The fifth power play of the game for Catholic Central, trying to put their third period woes to rest here. They've played a strong third period so far. But can they shift it into a higher gear attacking-wise? They can get a third goal, make it a 3-1 game. That would loom large as a pivotal point, maybe the pivotal point in this one. They'll have to go back and chase it, though, after the initial clear by the Cranes. Westrick leads the charge for Catholic Central. On the shoot around, it got by Dudlar. Weird bounce there. That benefits the Cougars, but can they get to it? No, they cannot. It's swatted out of danger by Rento Saijo. Goheen down to one knee, makes a pass up to his brother, Luke. That was Trent to Luke. Those are our brothers playing together this year on Catholic Central. Seems like there's at least one pair every year. Oh, we had a few last year. 10 Harmsel couldn't keep it alive on another sharp clearance by Noah Poyot this time. Last year, the Kwiatkowski brothers played together. The last 2 years they did, previous to this one. Shane graduated. We had the Schweigert twins. Unfortunately, Ian didn't play last year due to a shoulder injury, but he and Drew were both on the roster for, I think, 3 straight seasons. Both graduated now. Chico couldn't clear. No, he could. It bounced off the stick of Henry Kwiatkowski. And his pass over to Bates. Bates up ahead to Luke Goheen. The Cougars unable to get anything going on this power play so far. 40 seconds to go on it. High clear by Dudlar, the goaltender. Kwiatkowski settles at center. It is about possession right now for Catholic Central, as much as it is about chances, but they'd love to funnel one to the front here. Mulvey just haven't been able to get much of the puck on this power play. Kappinga, you can tell the Cranes are kicking up their competitive level at the moment, looking to do anything to get back in this game. Bates on the pass across. Kwiatkowski shot it right through the top of the crease. Off the corner boards, Mulvey. Good pass to Bates. One touch to Kappinga. He's got some room. Made the play. Mulvey took it off his skate and shot, but that's deflected off the low ceiling here at the Kennedy Recreation Center. Draws the whistle with 4:03 left in the third, and that's it for the power play. Catholic Central 1 for 5. They did not get a shot on goal during that sequence. Catholic Central maintaining the lead into the stretch run now. 4 minutes to go in the third. Pollock couldn't tap it ahead in a stick battle with Hank Callison. He goes down. Play continues on. Neton clears it in. No, actually, play does not continue on. It's whistled dead at center. It's a tripping penalty against Catholic Central, and I think it's against Pollock. He was the one who was engaged with Callison at center ice, and he will be the one going off. So the first power play of the period for Cranbrook Kingswood comes at a high leverage moment. 3:49 left in the third period. It has been a morning of tripping penalties. That's now 6 total in the game. Fourth power play upcoming for Cranbrook Kingswood, and their bench getting engaged, pounding their sticks against the boards. And the faceoff controlled by the Cranes. Back to the line, it's the leading scorer for CK, Nick Timko, distributing below the goal line to Callison. Back out high, Chico to Timko, kicks it to his stick nicely. Chico to the far side, one-timer deflected, saved by Goheen on the chance in front. I think that was Horton, and Chico can't hold it in at the point. It was Michael Horton who got that deflection on the DeSalvo shot. Offside, Cranbrook Kingswood. 30 seconds into the power play, 3:19 left in the third. The tension rising to a crescendo. We'll have a neutral zone face-off. Both teams have their timeouts. Each side gets one for 1 minute. Seems to be a universal thing across the sport of hockey, regardless of level. And you usually see them taken late in close games like this one, but not yet. Timko on the cut-in move. Nick Timko, 9 goals on the year, dropped it off. Horton banged it in behind the net, and Luke Goheen takes it and swings it out of the zone strongly. 3 minutes exactly left in the third. Just past 11 a.m. on this Saturday morning. Thank you for joining me on Cougar Puck Radio. Catholic Central leads it 2-1. Trying to get out of Trenton with a victory and head on back to the west side of the state. Banked off the glass, and Trent Goheen takes no chances with both DeSalvo and Timko in his face. 52 seconds to go on the minor penalty. Actually, it was Ryder Mulvey. I thought it was against Alex Pollock, but the referee had a change of heart, change of mind at the last second. So Mulvey eager to spring out, but he's still got 52 seconds to go. And a timeout has been called, taken by Cranbrook Kingswood. .251 to go in the third period. Yesterday, Cranbrook Kingswood took out Traverse City Central 3-2. They're 8-10-1 on the year. Catholic Central is 12-7-2. So the Cranes have won 2 in a row. They also beat Grosse Pointe South actually 2 Thursdays ago. They had last weekend off. For Catholic Central, trying to collect their first win since they beat West Ottawa out in Holland. Midweek game a couple of weeks ago. Games we missed here on the network, a 2-2 tie between the Cougars and Forest Hills Northern and Eastern. That was a makeup game at Patterson last Monday. Last game we had for you was last Saturday against Sault Ste. Marie, a 3-2 decision in favor of the visiting Blue Devils there. Prior to that, Catholic Central tied 2-2 against UD Jesuit on the road down here in the Detroit area. So they're trying to break a 4-game winless streak. They're 241 away from doing just that, but they've got to kill off the rest of this penalty first. The goaltender, Garrett Dudlar, stays in the net at the other end, so it's still a 5-on-4. The timeout is over. We are back to live action, and the faceoff won by the Cranes, but they can't keep it in. Horton drew it back, but Neton unable to keep it on the blue line. To the middle, Westrick picks it off. Took it away on the pass from Timko, and Zach Westrick cleared. And there is the goaltender onto the bench. So it's a 6-on-4. I kind of thought we'd see that off the faceoff, but Coach John LaFontaine waited for that. Trent Goheen, side of his net, plays it hard and out. It deflects just past Neton and Timko. Timko's got to go back for it in front of his empty net. Turned it over to Westrick. A blind shot on his backhand. And the puck trickles behind the goal. 12 seconds left on the power play. Ryder Mulvey ready to come out of the box. DeSalvo makes a move, faked the pass, kept it to Timko for a wrist shot that fluttered wide. Capping it, trying to tap it away from a couple of Cranes there on the near side boards. Instead, it's back out to Neton. Far side shot, score! It was deflected in. Chico put it toward the goal. I'm not sure who got the last stick on it. It's a 6-on-5 goal. It's an extra attacker goal for the Cranes. Horton celebrating like it's his. Chico shot it, and the Cougars just never got their equilibrium back after they got back to even strength, or at least they got 5 skaters on the ice against 6 for the Cranes, and we are tied with 1:41 left in the third. And now we're staring a shootout right in the face. So no power play goal, but it is an extra attacker goal. Horton from Chico. And for the second time today, the Cranes have come back to tie it. On the deflection. But here's Pollock in front of the net. Oh my, and somehow Dudlar froze it. 1:29 to go. DeSalvo gets the secondary assist. There can be no tie today. Someone's going to win, whether it be in regulation or a shootout. Mulvey at the faceoff circle against Horton. Maybe the Cougars can put together some late magic. They've done it a few times this year. Against both Mona Shores, also, I want to say it was against Granville perhaps, bunted in on net. No, it was against Grand Rapids Christian. They did it twice, scoring final minute goals. Save made there by Dudlar. I know Westrick had one. I can't recall who had the other, but twice Catholic Central has scored very late to win games in regulation this year. They've got 113 with which to work. Deflected into the Cranes bench. Like so many games recently, we are tied in the third period. And the Cougars went more than a full season, actually almost close to 2 seasons without playing an overtime game. They're about to have 3 in the span of 2.5 weeks. If no one scores here late. Horton tried to shoot, pulling it out of his skates, And, of course, the Cranes are hungry to get another goal, too. Got to worry about that. It's tight right now. Luke Goheen, good pass across. Bates drags it into the attacking zone but lost control. Roman Chico had the shot that led to the goal for Horton. Westrick, good work to take the puck away. Westrick shot off the outside of the frame. I think it might have gotten a piece of the arm of the goaltender, Dudlar. 23 seconds left in the third period. 10 Harmsel bangs it down deep. There's Horton driving it ahead. No one touched it. They're saying Westrick could have, though, and so no icing. Trent Goheen, long lead pass. It's onto the stick of Kapinga. Couldn't pull it by the checking of Nick Timko. Timko with 5 seconds to go in the third period. Gave it over to Schmidt. Schmidt couldn't clear. The Cougars pounce, but time runs out on the third period of play. So the only goal in the third scored by Cranbrook Kingswood. Michael Horton, his 7th of the year, will go to a shootout. First shootout that I've had in 3 seasons on the call for Grand Rapids Catholic Central. So we'll take a short break on CPR, bring it back for the tiebreaker. Goaltenders on center stage for both sides. Goheen for Catholic Central, Dudlar for Cranbrook Kingswood. So we'll reset the scoreboard here. 2-2 was your final in regulation. Three shooters apiece, so NHL-style shootout. And we're about to find out who will shoot first. It'll be Nick Timko of Cranbrook Kingswood. So here we go. In the top of the first, if you will. Timko has 9 goals on the year, held off the board in this game, but he remains the top gun for the Cranes as he goes against Trent Goheen at the other end of the ice. First shootout of the season for either side. Slowly goes Timko. Shot, score! He went upstairs onto the crossbar and appeared to surprise Goheen over the glove hand. Remember, Goheen is a right-handed catching goaltender, and Timko elevated it, pulled it across his body, in fact. Surprised me. I know that I was expecting a deke in that situation, but he pulled the trigger to Timko, and it's 1-0 in the shootout. Here's Isaac Kapinga, the sophomore. First year as a Cougar. 8 goals on the season. Kapinga tried to go 5-hole, and he's stopped in the bottom of the first. It remains 1-0 Cranbrook Kingswood in the shootout. So now the leverage increases as we've got Roman Chico, the defenseman, getting a chance. He has 7 goals this season, just set up the tying goal late in the third period. He tries the right side, now between the circles, took the shot, he scored. He nudged it by Goheen, along the ice it appeared. Past his left pad, and it's 2-0 Cranes in the shootout. And now the Cougars have to be perfect. They got to score on their last 2, and they've got to get a save in between. It's up to Westrick now. 9 goals this season. 25 total points. Closing, shooting off the blocker, and that's it. Cranbrook Kingswood with the help of 2 saves in the shootout by Garrett Dudlar and 2 goals in the shootout by Nick Timko and Roman Chico. They come back and get the win. Technically 3-2 will be the final score line. It was 2-0 in the shootout after a 2-2 tie in regulation. So ends up being that the winless streak continues on for Catholic Central. Winless in 5 and now 1-6-2, 1-5-3 if you want to count that as a tie, but it does go down technically in the books as a defeat, 3-2 this morning at the Kennedy Recreation Center. So your goal scorers today for Catholic Central: Ryder Mulvey in the first period, Liam Ten Harmsel in the second period. For Cranbrook Kingswood, Hank Callison in the second, and then late with 1:41 to go in the third with the extra attacker, Michael Horton deflected the Roman Chico point shot into the goal to tie it up, and in the shootout, 2-0. The Cranes defeat the Cougars there. We don't even get to the third round of the shootout. The two teams shake hands at center ice. Our next broadcast on Cougar Puck Radio next Friday night, 7:30 start time from Southside Ice Arena as we return to OK-Roo Division play. Catholic Central against Rockford for the second and final time this season. Hope you can join me for that one. As for right now, have a great rest of your weekend. You've got more of it than usual when we're signing off on a Saturday. And I'll talk to you from Byron Center in